Right now, let's give you a little bit of positivity on your Tuesday. Now, we've come to know him as a motivational beast. That's the only way to kind of describe him, who inspires us to approach everything we do with the heart and spirit of a true winner. Now, today, motivational specialist Ricardo WarriorRic Gressel, aka WarriorRic, joins the Expresso show this morning to discuss the method and purpose behind his powerful message. WarriorRic, my brother,
awesome,
welcome.
Good
nice
to see you again. You and good to be back, my brother.
Yeah,
Thanks
dude.
so much.
How you been?
I've been awesome, brother. I'm living my dream. I'm doing what I love, and hopefully impacting others' lives, because I know I'm impacted.
Absolutely, man. And just like you are imparting that positive spirit and knowledge onto others, I mean, I'm sure you are positively affected right back. By seeing the results. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about your scope of work. Now, you've been imparting your knowledge, your soft skills to learners all across the country as well, doing phenomenal work. But if you had to narrow down the scope of your work, what reach have you seen over the last, let's say, 2 years?
Sure. What I think's happened, Ewan, is I've actually made a concerted effort to focus on the youth. So I actually just got in my car and started traveling this beautiful country, over 6 provinces now, and over 100 schools, and reaching to not just the learners, but now also speaking to educators, parents, teachers, and trying to get that mix of the 3, that triumvirate that makes it happen in terms of making leaders out of our young people.
Absolutely, which is so needed, so needed. And people need to stand up, young people need to stand up and say, like, you know what, I can.
Absolutely.
I'm positive, we can do things, we can change things, which is amazing. We're going to be talking about the benefits of obstacle racing. This is something that you're very, very passionate about a little bit later on. But firstly, let's talk about some of the topics, the other topics that you decide to focus on. What are they, and kind of what are some of the benefits that you see come out of these sessions that you have with your learners?
Well, I think where it started, Ewan, was, as I said to myself, you know, people were complaining about leaders and leadership, not just in South Africa, but globally. And I just thought to myself, where better to start than with our future leaders? So it's all about leadership development. And when you talk about leadership development, it's really about getting into the crux of the problem. There's bullying, there's cyberbullying, there's these weapons of mass distraction, I call them, which is social media, but using it in a positive way and making sure that you turn the lights off, close the cupboards when you're done, and making your bed, which I tell my soldiers, that's very, very important. So all of these topics work on this whole thing of self-discipline, self-respect, which is about dignity. The triple D threat, I show the kids all the time. I say the triple D threat is dedication, determination, and devotion. You decide in dedication. Determination is the spade work. So you're getting in the grind and you're doing the work. And then finally devotion, which is the conqueror. That's love. And that's how you can actually finish and win.
Yeah. Listen, it's so inspiring to see you amongst the kids like that as well. What are, just quickly, some of you're traveling around 6 provinces now already. What are some of the key issues that you have seen personally as a motivational speaker?
I think the number one is lethargy. I think what happens is that we're waiting. We're sitting back and waiting for leadership. We're waiting for others to do the work. And I'm working on making sure that people find the joy inside, that your happiness doesn't come from, finding a loved one or the world it must love you. And you've got this sense of waiting until the world tells you that you're beautiful or that you're strong. You are gorgeous, you are strong, you are intelligent, but you got to find it within you. So it's starting with that morning wake-up call that says, I am great. I am great, and I can go out here and make it happen. And the learners, they're picking up on that. And so what happens is they start listening to this and saying it for themselves. And that's why I do a lot of chanting, call and response, so they understand that their words are a creative force. So when they speak it into existence, they can be great.
And it all starts with making your bed, which is amazing.
Absolutely,
man.
absolutely.
We're going to talk to WarriorRic a little bit later on again, but make sure to stay tuned to your Pure Good Breakfast show. Like I said, we'll be back with WarriorRic to discuss how he's turning these theoretical lessons into practical ones, and you can also log on to that website of his. That's warriorric.co.za for more.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
All right, well, we are back with motivational specialist, I can call him, Ricardo Gressel, aka WarriorRic. This man, always such a pleasure to have him in studio. And while he mainly focuses on imparting his crucial life skills to learners at schools all across the country, he's now moved his theory to the field and introducing obstacle course racing as part of his teachings. WarriorRic, thank you very much once again for joining us this morning. I think it's great, man, because I've been following you on social media as well, and I'm just seeing the work that you've done and impacting the lives that you do in the way that you do it as well. But now you've turned to obstacle course racing, and I would love to unpack that a little bit, man. Why obstacle course racing at schools?
Well, first of all, obstacle course racing I've been a part of now in its 6th year with the Warrior Race. It's been going leaps and bounds and growing in its development and its work. And it's really because of the fact that it's about facing your fears. It's all about, saying that you could do it. And I think what's happening is that a lot of people are looking on social media at these obstacle course races and saying, that looks very daunting. I'm afraid of that. But those are the type of things we need to face. And when we get through it, we're better. So that's why obstacle course racing is a wonderful metaphor that you can do physically and make it a real occurrence in order to overcome your fears and to reach success.
And I love the fact that you're building that foundation early on with the youngsters by
Absolutely.
introducing that. So what are some of the practical skills that youngsters can learn through obstacle course
Well,
racing?
we talked about it in the last segment, Ewan, around this whole question around bullying and leadership and taking charge. You can get it taken care of out on the battlefield. So you can go out there and release some of that energy. If you're a bully, you need to release some of that energy. You need to get rid of that negative energy. So it's a good way to be outdoors, be outside, and get through some of these challenges. For someone who's being bullied, they see that, wow, I'm actually stronger than I thought. I can lift myself up. I can get under things that maybe the big bully can't do. And so what happens is the obstacle course becomes now your opportunity to be better. And I think that's what's so fascinating to watch the youth as they say, of course I can do this. In fact, you and I will have challenges getting through some of those obstacles,
man.
but they can get through it beautifully. And it's that sense of success.
And also, I think the team spirit in terms of helping each other when it comes to obstacle course racing, because that is something that's such an important skill to learn from an early age.
Absolutely. It's participant sport, and if you think about it, Ewan, we have these conventional sports that sometimes, you know, people aren't all good in rugby and cricket and football, but when it comes to obstacle course racing, you can do it as an individual, but you can look at your heroes. You can watch the Claude Extiens and the Thomas Fontanders who are out there winning these big races, making money, and as a participant, you say, well, I'm on the same course as them, and I'm learning from them through social media, through the live events, and I'm learning how to become better one-on-one, as opposed to just being in the stadium and just kind of watching the match or following it on social media or television.
Absolutely. When it comes to obstacle course racing, I mean, how have you personally seen it grow, not only in South Africa, but globally? Is this something that has really taken the world by storm when it comes to especially inspiring the youth?
Well, we're talking about over 5 million participants, I mean, just in 2015 alone, and it's growing and growing leaps and bounds. What's happening now in July is for Warrior number 5, when we're in Blythedale in Durban, what's happening is we actually have a world championship. So there's going to be a South African world championship here in South Africa. International athletes coming to South Africa. And because of SAOCR and the Warrior Race, they brought it together and said, we need to have a South African world championship. And the purse is more than 200,000 Rand. So now, with sponsors getting on board, with more money in the kitty, we're finding this development sport, this participant sport is going to become mainstream. There's no doubt about it.
Man, and it looks like a lot of fun. Mr. WarriorRic, thank you very much for always coming through and just exuding your positive energy and vibes on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Really appreciate it, man, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, my soldier. You know where you are, right?
You know where I am. I know where you are, man. Right here as well. Awesome stuff. WarriorRic, if you want to catch up with WarriorRic himself and take a look at all his latest developments and what he is up to, he's got a website. It's called warriorric.co.za, and be inspired while you go check it out.